Homeless in America, the hidden crisis of San Francisco. Welcome to Real Homeless Story, where we peel back the layers to reveal what most never see. Today, we explore a city famed around the world, San Francisco. This is the city of rolling fog, breathtaking views from the Golden Gate Bridge, and the charm of clanging cable cars navigating steep streets. It's a cultural mosaic, from the lively alleys of Chinatown to the colorful murals of the Mission District, and the free-spirited energy of Haight-Ashbury. But behind this picture-perfect image is a stark contrast, a humanitarian crisis unfolding in real time. Every night, thousands of people across San Francisco seek refuge not in homes, but on sidewalks, inside parked cars, or under makeshift shelters of tarps and cardboard. While homelessness is a growing national issue, it feels especially paradoxical here, in one of the wealthiest, most technologically advanced cities in the world. Skyrocketing housing prices, a vanishing supply of affordable housing, and a complicated web of systemic barriers have turned stable shelter into a near-impossible dream for many. In this episode of Homeless in America, we take an unfiltered look at San Francisco's homelessness emergency, where the numbers stand, what's fueling the crisis, how the city is responding, and most importantly, we listen to those living through it. We'll also look beyond San Francisco, comparing efforts in other cities, and exploring what meaningful solutions might actually look like. The current reality on the streets of San Francisco. According to the latest 2024 Point-in-Time survey, approximately 8,323 people in San Francisco are currently experiencing homelessness. Of these, nearly 2,900 are living completely unsheltered, sleeping in doorways, vehicles, or open streets. For a city with just under 900,000 residents, this represents one of the highest homelessness rates per capita in the country. There's a critical difference between being sheltered and unsheltered. Sheltered individuals have temporary access to emergency beds or transitional programs. But the unsheltered, many of whom reside beneath overpasses, on park benches, or in alleys, face the raw exposure of street life. Walk through neighborhoods like the Tenderloin, Soma, or parts of the Mission District, and you'll see it firsthand. Rows of tents, people wrapped in blankets against cold concrete, entire blocks transformed into fragile communities held together with tarps and shared struggle. This is not a lifestyle by choice. It's survival when all else fails. The visibility of homelessness in these areas is not just a citywide concern. It's a cry for help echoing through broken systems. And those affected are not invisible. They are neighbors, veterans, artists, parents. Many were once housed, employed, and stable, until life hit hard and fast. Residents and business owners now walk a tense line, balancing empathy with fear, compassion with frustration. Some call for stronger crackdowns on encampments, while others argue that without viable housing alternatives, these efforts only push the problem elsewhere. All the while, rent for even a modest one-bedroom apartment often exceeds $3,000 a month, pricing out not just the unhoused, but also the working poor. Behind every statistic lies a story, a tipping point where one unexpected event changed everything. A job lost, a health crisis, a domestic emergency, and just like that, the safety net vanished. Ask yourself, what would it take for you to lose your home in one of America's most expensive cities? For thousands in San Francisco, that terrifying question is already a lived answer. Why is this happening? The root causes behind the crisis. San Francisco's housing market isn't just expensive, it's exclusionary. Even a modest one-bedroom apartment can cost between $3,000 and $3,500 a month, far beyond the reach of low and even middle-income residents. But it's not just about prices, it's about availability. There simply aren't enough affordable housing units to meet the demand. Waiting lists are years long. Eligibility requirements are rigid. New low-income developments are sluggish to appear. Even with laws requiring a portion of new construction be set aside for below-market rate housing, the pace of building is dwarfed by rising need. This imbalance fuels fierce competition, pushing prices even higher and locking people out. One local put it simply, "Back in the day, the cheapest hotel room was maybe $550 a month. Now it's $1,500 to $2,000. My retirement check doesn't even cover that." Even with donations, even with assistance, the reality remains unchanged. The rooms just aren't there. Then come the personal challenges, the kind that tip someone from stability into crisis. Gig workers, part-timers, and people in unstable industries live paycheck to paycheck. One medical emergency, one missed week of work, and suddenly rent isn't an option anymore. Survivors of domestic violence with no safe haven to run to often find the streets as their only escape. And health? It's a constant battle. Not every unhoused individual suffers from mental illness or addiction, but a large number live with untreated conditions, both physical and psychological. Without consistent access to health care, problems spiral. In truth, health issues and homelessness don't just coexist, they amplify each other. The deeper someone falls, the harder it is to climb back. What's being done? The city's response and the housing first approach. One of San Francisco's most foundational strategies is called Housing First, a model built on one clear belief. Before you can treat addiction, mental illness, or unemployment, people need a home. This model breaks away from outdated systems that required sobriety or mandatory programs before offering shelter. Housing First does the opposite. Secure housing immediately, then offers services. To make this possible, San Francisco has introduced navigation centers, a more humane form of emergency shelter. These centers allow people to stay with pets, partners, and belongings, factors that often keep individuals from traditional shelters. Case managers, legal services, and job support are available on site. Still, many emergency shelters remain overcrowded, rigid, and lacking in privacy, making navigation centers a preferable alternative. During the COVID-19 pandemic, the city launched Project Room Key, transforming unused hotels into emergency housing to protect vulnerable individuals. Its successor, Project Home Key, took this further, purchasing those buildings outright and converting them into long-term housing. These programs were innovative, but they need sustained funding and execution to make a long-term impact. A major financial boost came from Proposition C, a ballot measure that taxes large corporations to fund housing and mental health initiatives. Hundreds of millions have been earmarked for shelters, services, and long-term housing. But success depends on more than money. It hinges on accountability, oversight, and the political will to act swiftly and effectively. Behind the numbers, the human story of homelessness. People often picture homelessness as a single story. One path, one cause, one kind of person. The truth is far more complex. Some used to own homes, hold steady jobs, raise families. Then something shifted. An unexpected layoff, a medical emergency. A relationship turned dangerous. Others live with mental illness or physical disabilities that make steady work difficult. Many work full-time jobs and still can't afford rent in a city that rewards wealth and innovation, but often overlooks human needs. Imagine showing up to your job every day and still sleeping in your car at night. That's the reality for many, and it proves one thing above all. The distance between stability and homelessness is shorter than most people think.